Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If everything goes well, we should be live now for our first episode of Today at RoboCup. It's going to be our daily talk show of the events happening here at the RoboCup in Montreal. And it's a test episode, so expect things to go wrong. Cameras falling down, internet connection being lost, people not finding their words. We have to switch between three languages here. It's all French spoken here. We're in Quebec in Canada. We speak Dutch amongst each other. We speak English to you. So many languages in our heads. Today was the last day of preparations. Starting tomorrow, we have 4 days of competition and many different competitions. There's going to be football competitions. There's going to be rescue robot competitions. We're going to see at home, so home robot competitions. A lot to see, a lot to talk about, and starting tomorrow evening, we will tell you all about what is happening. But today, we look forward at the games that will be played tomorrow and how the preparations were. I have got three guests here for today's talk show. This is René van der Molengraft from Tech United Eindhoven. He's going to talk about the Mid-Size League. It's a football competition for robots on wheels that are about 1 meter high, half a meter high, something like that. Okay, and then we have Josja, who will be talking about the at-home competition. These are household robots, robots that have to walk around the house, help around. And then we have Stefan from the University of Twente. He's going to talk about the small size league. These are also robots on wheels, but they are quite small, and it's a very fast. It's a very fast game. I think we will see some footage of this in well, the clips we're going to show you later. So welcome everyone at Today at RoboCup. So that was an impression. All these shots were taken. Today people are preparing in the different competitions. We've seen many different things there. We've also seen the household robots preparing there. With me here is René van der Molengraft. You have been, I think, the leader, even the starter of the mid-size league team in Eindhoven?
In Eindhoven, yes.
Yeah. So you have been following this mid-size league football competition for a very long time.
Yeah, we started in 2005 with our own development, and since then there has been made a huge advance in actually the performance of the whole league.
Okay, so just to give the people kind of an idea of what we're talking about. So you have a robot that is 60 centimeters high. It's driving around on wheels. It can control the ball. It doesn't have feet. But
no, it's actually driving on wheels indeed, but they are fully autonomously. So 5 robots play against 5 other robots. They decide everything as a team by themselves. Who should be the attacker, who should be the defender. So the role division is dynamic throughout the game. So basically, yeah, it's like real soccer where you have to play as a team. And the things that we developed, especially in the mid-size league over the past years, is the ability to do passes in the team. That's something that started around 2012, and we have been spending, let's say, 5 years to get that right. And now you see that basically all teams are at the level that they can really do, yeah, like real soccer gameplay with passing combinations, even passes in the open space in the field. And it's starting to look more like real soccer by the year.
So it's becoming more and more of a tactical competition where you have to program the robots that they take the right positions. So with a few passes you can have the exact right position in front of the goal to score that goal.
Yes, and that's actually also one of the current developments still that we are improving. Let's say what we call the pass handler. The ability to do the passing among the team players, and especially this year is really interesting because the field has become bigger in size, and that means that actually there is more room for the ball to do the work, just like in real soccer. So the ball should have a speed that you cannot just drive after it with the robot and still catch it. No, the ball is going too fast, and a bigger field actually facilitates that.
Not only the field is bigger, the goals are bigger too, I've seen.
Yeah, that's maybe some sort of a little drawback that we have. So I expect there will be more goals because still shooting is one of the main weapons of many teams. Yeah, and if the goal is bigger, it's obviously becoming harder for the goalkeeper to try to catch all those balls, which in the past was quite simple because the robot was relatively big compared to the size of the goal. And okay, that's becoming more now like real soccer as well.
So the field becoming bigger, the goal becoming bigger is maybe one small step again towards this reaching the normal human football game. That is the far future dream of RoboCup.
Yes, I expect that in the coming years, we will every few years we will run into a sort of a ceiling in terms of development, and then we have to change something in the rules to actually enforce that the next step can be taken. So we have seen that in 2011 when we had the ultimate monoplay, robots taking the ball, doing these magnificent dribbles. Then we introduced the passing, so we enforced that by the rules. And now we see that a number of teams is actually able to completely defend, annihilate the opportunities for other teams to score. That was the reason that we actually now decided to increase the game. And so now for the coming years we are safe again, and we will see a huge development, I think. And then we have to think of the next step to go towards the real soccer play, and that also includes making the size of the field bigger, of course.
So just like the human football, it was turning into some kind of catenaccio where the defending was so good that scoring became almost impossible.
Yeah, and there were a lot of players on a small area, and now that has become a bit more advantageous because there is more room in the field, and it's more it's difficult to actually man defend all the players.
Good, but let's give maybe kind of an overview to the people watching for the first time who don't really know what RoboCup is, there are many different competitions in football alone. There's two big branches. There's humanoid robots with arms and legs, and then there's the wheeled robots, like the small wagons. We have two competitions in the wheeled robot, the mid-size league, 60 centimeters high, and the small size league, the small carts like this size. We will talk about it later. And then we have the humanoids. They have arms and legs. We see now that the main development in humanoid robots is equilibrium, moving, ball handling, not so much tactics and passing, and that's the part that mid-size league and small-size league are taking over, which has the result that these are the nicest competitions to watch, I think, at this point. When you look at humanoids, you see them fall over and get up again, but when you look at mid-size league, small-size league, you see a real football game, and we hope to see nice games in the coming 4 days, and there will be many live streams both of mid-size league and small-size league on robocup.live. We will give you the entire schedule. We will put the entire schedule of the games on our website, and I think we can already show the mid-size league games for tomorrow. We play our first one at 9 o'clock in the morning Canadian time. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon Central European time. And then we have kind of an empty day. Then in the evening we have two more games. They are at 11 o'clock in the evening Central European time. Those are the Tech United games. There's another Dutch team here, ASML, a big chip manufacturing company in Eindhoven, and I think it's the first time they are also at the RoboCup, the ASML Falcons.
No, it's not their first time, but they are definitely trying to catch up with the teams that have been playing already for a longer time, and so you could say they are now sub-top, at least they were like that in the last year, so we have high expectations that they can really come in the group of the best teams in this league.
Yeah.
And very interesting because they are basically an industrial based team. They have a high level of knowledge on high-tech systems like the ASML wafer steppers. And as we experienced when we started in 2005, lots of that knowledge you can actually also use in robotics. And you can apply control theory at different levels in robotics, and that's a very important competence. So I see that happening in the team, and I have high expectations. So it's definitely one of the opponents to keep an eye on.
Yeah, most of the teams are university teams, are students, researchers, and so they are a real company team, which is kind of a different approach, I think.
Yeah, what's really nice, one of the things that are new in their robots is the fact that they removed the traditional OmniVision system with the camera looking into a mirror by having this sort of head with camera eyes that look around 360 degrees, and as a result of that they can have a much higher resolution, so probably they will see balls and opponents on a much further distance than we actually can do, and the field has become bigger, so that's definitely a plus for them.
Yeah, looking forward to their first games. They will also be on the website. And I'm looking at the director now. I think all the other games will be live streamed too, or will it only be the Dutch teams? Yeah, probably we will show the entire competition so people can watch the other teams too. I think the strongest teams are still Cambada from Portugal and Water from China.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So those are the teams to watch and that we will probably see in the finals against Tech United, because you are at this point defending world champion?
No. So
China
we lost
won
the finals,
last year.
so we have been in the finals for 10 years in a row. We became world champion 3 times now. It seems that the even years are better for us. Okay,
so this should be this should be the Dutch year again.
It could be.
Okay, it could be. Okay, that's good. We're looking forward to it. Starting tomorrow, so at 3 o'clock you can start watching the first game on our live stream. And we will be back, of course, at 10 o'clock Dutch time with another Today at RoboCup to also talk about this game and the other games that have been played until that time in the competition. Good. Apart from the mid-size league competition, we also have the small-size league competition, and with us is Stefan from the University of Twente. You're competing in the small size. How big are the wheeled robots there?
So they are 50 centimeters in diameter and 18 centimeters high. So small buckets, I would say.
Compact things. And the main difference would be, so just like in mid-size league, once the game starts, nobody of the team is still controlling the robots. The system is completely on its own for the entire duration of the play.
We just press start, and from there on, it's up to them. So,
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, a little bit closer.
Yeah. Sure. Or maybe tilt it a bit so it points. Yeah, that's it.
It
Great.
should do. Otherwise, let me know.
Yeah. But the main difference would be that in mid-size league, all these robots are thinking on their own. They have their own processing unit, and they are communicating, I think, through wireless networks. And in the small-size league, the entire team is controlled by one processing computer.
Exactly. There are multiple cameras on top of the field in our league, and they see from above the images. And our robots have like colored dots, and the computer sees those robots, determines what the location is, and also from the orange ball. The ball is always orange, and that status is communicated with our computer, and that is making the decisions. And from instead of you guys having it all on board, so we have a computer besides the field, and it makes the decisions.
Okay. The result is that it has become, during the past few years, a very high-paced game. Some of the combinations are really fast in small size league.
Yep. So that's also the goal of this tournament. There are multiple disciplines, and where you guys are trying to pack everything in one robot, we have some more space with the computer besides the robot, with more computer power, of course, and not on a battery. But we use that to make faster the game faster and make faster decisions. So, and hopefully in the future we combine those things and come up with really cool products, not only in soccer but also in other fields, of course.
Do you see the research that is done in this robot football? Do you see it spill to other fields?
Yeah, I think so. Well, nowadays the first cars are driving autonomous, and I think that will increase in the future. Like the Tesla cars don't know who they met during their drive, but nowadays they see each other and don't crash in each other. So I think over there it's like the same disciplines.
Yeah, okay. So this robot software could be used for self-driving cars, and then,
for example, yeah, I think so.
When we're on the road, we just throw a football at a car, and maybe some of the old software starts working again, and they.
Yeah, maybe we can do that, but then we get more like Transformers, I guess.
Yeah, okay. What are your ambitions as a team? What is the expectation for Twente?
So we started last year. We went the first time to Japan. Out of 20 teams, we became 14th. So that was a really nice position for the first year. Now it's the second year here in Montreal, Canada, and we already qualified. This year we have two divisions, like the A division and the B division. There were some teams not able to increase the amount of robots, and the competition wanted to increase the amount of robots on the field. So they came up with two divisions, A and B. We are playing in Division A with 8 robots instead of 6. So we are already at the top 9 teams here in Montreal. And we improved a lot, and this year we really made some nice progress. But to place it on a rank list, it's really hard to do. We have to see. Tomorrow will be our first game, already against one of the strongest teams. Okay. So we will see how that turns out, and from there on, we definitely feel confident to do well during this tournament.
So tomorrow you already have a very strong opponent for your first game.
Yep, yep.
What time is it?
It's 11 o'clock local time, and that would be 5 o'clock in the Netherlands.
Let's see, 11 would be 5 o'clock, yes. Yeah. So 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon is the first game of the small size league of Twente. Yep. And we will also put the live stream on RoboCup.live, so people can watch the game there and see how you're doing against a very strong opponent.
Yeah, I hope people enjoy watching it.
Yeah, especially enjoy the fast game, because I think when you're programming the tactics, you already, I think you are calculating two steps. Like you're looking at not at the path of the ball straight to the goal, but already the path to another player and then to the goal, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and the more steps ahead you plan, the better. But also the more difficult it is. The robots drive really fast, so like in seconds the game has changed, and you have to make other plans. Definitely two steps, but most of the time the third step is already too far away, and we make other decisions.
Well, the thing is, of course, that every time you pass the ball to another point, you have your hardware interacting, and there's always going to be a bit of uncertainty. So
yeah, that's correct. Yeah, there is also a lot of uncertainty, of course, in the game.
yeah.
But for example, if you want to pass to another robot, sometimes it's better to use another robot to indirectly pass the ball to that robot instead of shooting itself, because maybe you have to turn or do some movements what takes more time than using another robot. So then you already have two steps.
And that's all in the
reaching the goal.
software, the calculations, like what time does it take me to turn, what time would it
Exactly.
take me to take another path, everything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and then you make the best decision. Also to see like how dangerous it will be to use another robot. Sometimes you don't want to play the ball through the whole field, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, all those decisions are taken in account.
You've got a risk analysis
Yeah.
of the path that you
Yeah,
follow,
yeah.
just like in real football,
Yeah,
like what
exactly.
football players
Yeah,
do.
we try to use our knowledge in like usual soccer and implement it in our robots. Yeah.
Ah, you play. Well, we started calling it meat football here at
Meat
RoboCup.
football. Oh, nice.
Because of course there's many nations here. There's I think over almost 4,000 participants. So we have people
Yeah.
from Germany and Brazil and Mexico and everywhere. So there was a lot of watching the
Yeah.
regular World Cup, and we have robot football and then we have meat football. And
Yeah.
you play meat football
Yeah, I
yourself.
play meat football definitely.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I never thought about it, but yeah, I did.
and you can use your experience in the
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
in the small side league.
Yeah, just like a normal football, playing as fast as possible to another player is
Yeah.
also useful in our games. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was an experiment. I think it was 4 years ago. There was an experiment at the RoboCup where they had put headphones on human players and blindfolds,
Oh, really?
and so the computer was controlling them just by telling them what to do. So it would say forward, 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 left, 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 and then kick. And they had no idea of where the ball was. They just had to follow the orders there, and so that was kind of software controlling the meat footballers
I see.
and
Yeah.
see if it worked better.
That's interesting.
It didn't work better yet, but
Ah.
we're getting there. We're getting there in the end.
Still work to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, Josha, we're going to talk about the at-home league in a minute, but first let us take a look at the preparations of the junior league. This was the final day before tomorrow the games start, and I think a very nice part was that a few hundred secondary school students just poured into the hall with their own creations, their own little robots. They have small rescue robots, they have small football robots. They basically do most of the competitions that we have here in the regular RoboCup on a small size, on a small table and everything like that. And there were amazing creations. I think we have some footage of it. There we go. So these are all the secondary school students. They are between 12 and 18 years old, unpacking their robots and getting ready for that competition that also starts tomorrow. They are very creative sometimes. We have seen some very beautiful robots, in 3D printed part, very colorful things. And I was talking to one of the organizers of the junior RoboCup, and one of the great ideas, I think, is that after 2 days of competitions, they mix the teams, and they will just take a team from Iran and Mexico and Holland and put them together and make them develop a new solution with people they haven't met yet, and get this teamwork done there, which I think is an absolute brilliant idea. We went to interview some of these teams, some of these robot teams. They were getting their rescue robots ready for the competition that is starting tomorrow, and here they are. So final day before RoboCup starts tomorrow morning, and now also the junior leagues have arrived. These are students of secondary school, and they can compete in either soccer competitions or rescue competitions, and all the rescue teams are right here in this corridor. Is this a rescue robot?
Yeah, it is. It's for the category RMRC, the Rapidly Manufactured Robot Kit.
Okay.
Competition. Yeah.
And so you are going to compete with this one, and you have to do a certain assignment. You have to pick something up or take something away, or
Yeah, kind of. First of all, we have to go through some terrain, different terrain, and we also have to make some manipulation with PVC.
okay. And so this is the robot. What competition will it be in?
The Rapidly Manufactured Rescue League.
What platform did you work on? What's the microcontroller?
It's actually called the Udo x86 Ultra. So it's a x86 single board computer. It's much more powerful than like a Raspberry Pi or something like that. We have this robot's actually got 4 cameras, so one each side. We also have distance sensors, temperature sensors. On the front we have a thermal camera as well, so we can hopefully detect people, heat maps. Yeah.
And so this is the junior competition, and what age is the junior competition for?
So this is kind of a bridging competition between the junior rescue and then the major league rescue competition that's just over here as well. So it's a bit of a sort of intermediate, so that junior school students can sort of transition through to university level competition.
Excellent. So we'll all see you in the major league competition in a few years.
Yeah, hopefully.
So that was the junior competition, and then let's move to our final guest, Josja, also Team Tech United, but not in the football competition. Apart from football, we also have a rescue competition here with robots that are made to rescue people in situations that are maybe inaccessible to humans. And we also have the at-home competition, where we develop the household robots of the future that probably one day will drive around your house and help you out. Josja, you are here with Team Tech United, and you have brought 2 robots this year.
Yes, so we have Amigo, which is our original robot. We have been competing with that one for quite a while. And we have sort of an Amigo 2.0, its successor basically, and that one is called Sergio. But Sergio does not have operational arms yet, so a lot of the challenges will be done with Amigo.
Okay, and so in the future you would probably move completely to Sergio, and Amigo would be retired
Yes,
and sent to the retirement home of robots
where it can be taken care of by Sergio.
by humans,
Or
maybe.
by humans,
That
yes.
would be the irony, humans taking care of the household robots. I would
Well,
love.
that's basically already happening right now, right?
That's what happens, right? That's yeah.
Yeah.
Look at my owners. That's what they think all the time. Good. Of course, I think many of us can see how a football competition works, but how does a household competition work? How do you score points?
Well, we have a jury and a lot of different challenges. So, for example, the challenges that we have first, those are tomorrow, are the speech and person recognition, which means that the robot will have to answer questions and recognize people. So, for example, it will stand in front of a crowd and it has to say how many people are in that crowd, how many males, how many females. It has to detect pointing people and just answer general questions. And there's just a scoring sheet, and based on that we get points.
Okay.
Yep.
Now this is of course a research project, a development project for the students. The things that you're talking about now, face recognition, voice recognition, they are, well, more and more software packages offer this in the market. How do you work with the robot? Can you use what other companies offer, or do you write most of it yourself?
Well, we actually use quite a lot of open source software. Also because, for example, speech recognition requires a lot of data. So if you would want to develop your own speech recognition software, it does not only require a lot of time, but it also requires a lot of data.
Mm-hmm.
And companies generally have a lot more of that than
Yeah.
a university does.
One thing that is amazing about RoboCup is it's very international, and so the jury is also very international. So
Yes.
the speech recognition has to be very good and get all the right accents there, because you have
Yeah.
German accents, you have continental accents, Belgian accents, you have Latin American accents, and that's an extra challenge, I can imagine.
Yes, it sometimes makes it extra tricky,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of judges also know how to pronounce certain parts, and they understand how the robot will interpret it. So they basically know maybe on what words to emphasize a little bit more. But they do actually try not to help the teams too much in that way, because the robot should just be able to understand if you're speaking English, even though you're speaking with a Belgian accent or a German accent, it should be able to understand you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So that's step one. The robot knows who you are and can understand what it has to do. What are the things that it can already do? How can the robot already help people around the house? Well, in this setting, in this competition setting.
Well, two of the other challenges that we have tomorrow is the storing groceries challenge and the help me carry challenge, which is basically, they are both very focused on assisting a person who has done groceries. So
They both sound amazing, by the way. Just when I hear that a robot could help me store the groceries and carry them inside the house, already I think it take my money.
yeah, well, exactly. So what they basically do is the robot will have to follow a person to their car, then grab the groceries, bring them back inside. So the operator by the car will say, "Well, bring them to the sink or to the cabinet," and it will go there, put all the groceries there, and then go back to the car until there are no more groceries left. And then in the storing groceries challenge, the robot will actually grab all the objects that you just bought and put them in the cabinet, and even sort them on what sort of purchases you made. So put foods with foods and put, like that, so fruits with fruits.
Yeah, amazing. And so that's already a challenge that you will do tomorrow?
Yes.
Do you know at what time, roughly?
I think we start with the speech and person recognition around 11, I think.
Yeah.
And then, they're divided over the day, I think.
Okay. There's probably not going to be a live stream of the at-home competition, but we hope to have some footage that we can show here at the Today at RoboCup live stream at, 10 o'clock Dutch time. Same thing for you, so it's 4 days of competition, and then Thursday you know where you ended in the chart. And what are your dreams? What are your goals?
Well, the dream is always to become first, right?
Is it possible to be champion?
It's always possible, I think, but there is one team, Homer, from Koblenz, from Germany, and they are really good. We also competed with them at the German Open about 1.5 months ago, and they won. We were second then, and they won. And I'm afraid that will happen again, but we're definitely going to fight for our first place. Yes.
Great. Well, everybody thought that they were going to win again against Mexico today, and see what happened. So you could be the Mexico of the RoboCup at-home competition.
Let's hope so.
Good. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here. Thank you for watching. This was our first test episode of Today at RoboCup. Tomorrow the live streams will start. So as you know, I think at 3 o'clock, first live stream of the mid-size league competition. Everything we do will be on robocup.live. You can find us there. You can find the schedules there. And every evening at 10 o'clock, we'll be back here to give you an overview of the day. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.